Hello again, Wild Spirit Stables here. Today I'm back for yet another installment in my model horse showings tutorial series. Today I'm going to be covering figuring out what breed your model should be. And so the first thing you're definitely going to need for this one is a nice horse book, especially ones that cover horse breeds. I probably have about 10 different horse breed books. I have this one right here. I also have a pretty ginormous big one, as well as a little tiny little bitty one that's about the size of a 3x5 card that I take to model horse shows. They're very handy, especially for figuring out breeds of your horses. So let's get started. First of all, there are some models that Breyer comes out with that they're obviously what the mold says they are. Like this one right here. This one's Double Trouble. I name him Lethal Legend. His mold is a Missouri Foxtrotter, and he does extremely well as a Missouri Foxtrotter. He has that foxtrot, which I don't know if you can see, but he does have the foxtrot where he's walking with his front legs and trotting with his back. So he makes a perfect release breed. However, there are some Breyer models that don't do very well as their release breed. One of the biggest examples of this is Smarty Jones. Look at him. Like, you would think he would make a perfect thoroughbred. He's galloping at full speed. So from the front end, he makes a pretty good thoroughbred. But look at his hindquarters. Look at how big. Look at how big and muscly he is. If you look at a picture of a real quarter horse in your horse book, like that one right there, he's got some pretty big hindquarters too. And it even says right in here about the breed is that they should have powerful hindquarters as well as those fine legs that a thoroughbred has. And so he does make a pretty good quarter horse. And then if you look at a thoroughbred compared to him, it doesn't quite look exactly the same. Like here's a good picture of a thoroughbred. He's got some pretty small hindquarters. He doesn't have those huge hindquarters of a quarter horse that make him good for sprinting. So this model right here, even though he's released as a thoroughbred, he does really well. He does a lot better as a quarter horse. And then another one is this girl right here. You're all familiar with the Weather Girl. She's very pretty. She's released as an Arabian. But this model right here, she's a Pinto. Arabians can't be Pinto. Even all horse breed books say that Arabians cannot be Pinto. So that's where you run into your problem. What are you going to show her as? You can't show her as an Arab. She's going to get tossed out of that class any second. So what you can do is you can cross her with a paint horse. Turn her into a Pentavian, the light type, because there are two different types of Pentavians. There's a light type and a stock type. So make sure you specify that she is a light type because she has all of those Arab features. The only thing that's paint about her is her pattern. So be sure you mention that when you say what breed she is. And then last, oh, as my camera just about dies. Lastly, we have models that you have no idea what the release breed even was. Like this girl right here. She was the Fun Foals Treasure Hunt mare. She never came with a release breed. She was just the Strawberry Roan draft horse. So what are you going to do with her? Look around in your breed books. That's what you're going to do. Find the draft breed section. And so you're looking through it, and you notice a Suffolk Punch, and you think, oh my goodness, look how similar that looks to her, even with the little feathering like this girl has right here. But you do need to pay attention to what colors your horse can come in, because even though this guy looks perfect for her, look at that. They can only come in chestnut colors. This girl is not a chestnut, she's a roan. So you have to be very careful and find a draft breed that can come in roan. And so that's where you keep looking through. And then you find the Brabant horse. Another perfect example with that little feathering. And they can come in roan. In fact, they're predominantly roan, which is pretty good. So that's a good thing going for. They have that same shape head, a very, very thick and compact body like this one does. So it works out perfectly for this girl. So that's what you got to do with determining the breed of your horse, is find a good breed book and figure out if the model is a good representation of that breed. Pay close attention to height. If it's a draft, the amount of feathering on them. Pay attention to the head shape, the muscling. Just pay very close attention to conformation and especially colors. That's the main thing you have to do for determining your breed. So that's actually a fairly easy one for determining the breeds of your horses. Just get some nice horse books, and that's all you got to do. Thanks so much. I'll be back with another tutorial in a bit.